Key points for when you choose yourself. The world chooses you. 1, self-acceptance is the first step. The world reflects how you see yourself. When you embrace your worth, others will too. 2, confidence attracts opportunities. Bold decisions and self-belief naturally draw success and recognition. 3, stop waiting for permission. The world won't validate you until you validate yourself first. 4, rejection is redirection. Rejection is redirection. When you choose yourself, failures become stepping stones, not stop signs. 5, people respect those who lead themselves. When you stand firm in your choices, others will follow. 6, energy speaks louder than words. The way you carry yourself shapes how the world treats you. 7, authenticity wins every time. The world rewards those who stay true to their purpose. 8, you set your own value. If you see yourself as valuable, the world will mirror that belief. Motivational speech. There comes a moment in life when you realize that no one is coming to hand you the life you dream of. No one is going to walk up and say, you are enough, until you decide that for yourself. The world is watching, waiting for you to step up, waiting for you to claim your place. But it will not choose you until you choose yourself first. Too many people waste years waiting for approval, waiting for recognition, waiting for someone to pick them. They sit on the sidelines hoping that one day the world will take notice. But that's not how it works. The moment you stop waiting and start acting, everything changes. You don't need permission to be great. You don't need validation to start. The only green light you need is the one you give yourself. Think about the people who have made history, the ones who have shattered limits. They were not always the best, not always the most talented, but they chose themselves. They decided that they were worthy of the dream they carried inside. They believed in their vision before anyone else did. And because they showed up for themselves, the world had no choice but to take notice. It's not about arrogance, it's about certainty. When you walk into a room with the energy of someone who knows their worth, people feel it. When you show up with conviction, people respect it. Confidence is magnetic. The world mirrors back what you project. If you carry yourself like you matter, people will treat you like you do. Yes, there will be doubters. Yes, there will be rejection. But rejection is not a stop sign, it's a test. Will you fold or will you rise? The world may say no 1,000 times, but the only no that truly matters is the one you tell yourself. Every time you get up after a setback, you are reinforcing your value. Every time you bet on yourself, you are teaching the world how to see you. No one else can make the choice for you. No one else can decide that you are enough. That power is yours alone. And when you finally embrace it, when you stand up and say, I choose me, the world will listen. The opportunities will come. The right people will show up. The doors you once thought were locked will open. So stop waiting. Stop hesitating. The moment you choose yourself is the moment the world chooses you. And that moment is now. There is a direct connection between how you see yourself and how the world sees you. Every person you meet, every opportunity that comes your way, every experience you attract, it all begins with the way you perceive your own worth. When you stand in front of a mirror, what do you see? Do you see someone worthy of success, love, and happiness? Or do you see someone waiting for external validation, someone questioning their own value? The truth is, the world does not define you. You define yourself, and the world simply responds. Imagine walking into a room with doubt in your heart, second guessing your abilities, questioning if you truly belong. People can sense it. They may not hear your inner dialogue, but they feel the hesitation in your energy, in the way you carry yourself. On the other hand, when you walk in with self-acceptance, with an unshakable belief that you are enough, people recognize it. Confidence is not about arrogance. It's about certainty. It's about knowing that you don't need to prove your worth to anyone because you have already accepted it within yourself. Too often, people spend their lives seeking validation from others, waiting for someone to tell them they are good enough, smart enough, talented enough. But what happens when that validation never comes? Does it mean you are unworthy? Absolutely not. It means the world is waiting for you to decide. It means your power lies in the moment you stop looking outward for confirmation and start looking inward for truth. Self-acceptance is not about perfection. It is about embracing yourself fully, flaws and all. It is about recognizing that you are a work in progress, but even in your growth, you are still valuable. When you accept yourself, your strengths, your weaknesses, your unique journey, you create an unbreakable foundation. And when you stand firm in who you are, the world will adjust accordingly. The right people will respect you, the right doors will open, and the right opportunities will come because they are drawn to someone who already knows their worth. It all starts with you, not with external praise, not with approval from others, but with the simple, powerful decision to accept yourself as you are. When you do, the world has no choice but to follow your lead. Confidence is not something you are born with. It is something you build. It is the result of the choices you make, the way you speak to yourself, and the way you carry yourself in the world. People are naturally drawn to certainty. They follow those who move with conviction, who believe in their own abilities before anyone else does. When you choose confidence, you are not just shifting the way you see yourself, you are shifting the way the world interacts with you. Think about the most influential people, the ones who command attention the moment they walk into a room. It is not always their skills or achievements that make them stand out. It is their energy. It is the way they own their presence, the way they speak with authority, the way they trust themselves even when others don't. Confidence has a gravitational pull. It attracts opportunities, opens doors, and earns respect. But before the world can believe in you, you must first believe in yourself. Every time you hesitate, every time you second guess your worth, you send a signal to the world that you are uncertain. And the world mirrors that uncertainty back to you. But when you make the choice to be confident, even before you feel ready, everything changes. Confidence is not about having all the answers. It is about trusting that you are capable of figuring them out. It is about knowing that no matter what happens, you have the strength to handle it. Opportunities don't just come to those who wait. They come to those who show up boldly, who take risks, who refuse to shrink themselves. The moment you start carrying yourself like you belong, like you deserve to be in the room, the world will take notice. The moment you walk into a space with the mindset that you have something valuable to offer, people will listen. Confidence is not just a mindset, it is a choice, and it is one that has the power to change everything. Most people spend their lives waiting for permission, waiting for the right moment, waiting for someone to say, yes, you're good enough. But what if that permission never comes? What if the validation you seek is nothing more than an illusion? Something you've been conditioned to believe you need. The truth is, no one is coming to tell you that you're ready. No one is going to tap you on the shoulder and say, now is your time. That moment happens the second you decide it does. Think about the people who have changed the world, the ones who have broken barriers and redefined what's possible. Do you think they waited for permission? Do you think they asked the world if they were allowed to step into their greatness? No. They chose themselves first. They didn't wait for an opportunity. They created one. They didn't ask for approval. They gave it to themselves. And because of that, the world had no choice but to follow. Every time you hesitate, every time you hold back because you think you need someone else's validation, you are delaying your own success. The people who go the farthest in life are the ones who stop looking for external confirmation and start acting on their own belief. They understand that they don't need a title, an invitation, or an official stamp of approval to step into their purpose. They know that the only permission that matters is the one they give themselves. The world responds to action. It rewards those who move, who dare, who refuse to wait for the perfect circumstances. Because the truth is, there is no perfect time. There is only now. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner you take control of your own destiny. You don't need permission to be great. You don't need someone to tell you that you are worthy. You just need to decide that you are and act accordingly. Rejection is not the end of the road. It is a redirection. It is not a reflection of your worth, but a test of your resilience. Too often people take rejection personally as if it is a sign that they are not good enough. They let it define them, discourage them, and stop them from moving forward. But the truth is, every no you hear is simply pointing you toward a better path, a better opportunity, a better version of yourself. Look at the most successful people in the world. They have all faced rejection. Authors who had their books turned down by dozens of publishers. Entrepreneurs who were told their ideas would never work. Artists, athletes, innovators. Every single one of them has been met with a door slammed in their face. The difference between those who make it and those who don't is simple. The ones who succeed do not let rejection define them. They see it as a lesson, as feedback, as fuel to push harder. When you choose yourself, rejection loses its power. Instead of seeing it as a failure, you begin to see it as a necessary step on the journey. You start to understand that when one door closes, it is because something greater is waiting ahead. You realize that rejection is not a reason to stop. It is a reason to keep going. Every setback is an opportunity to grow, to refine your approach, to prove to yourself just how much you want it. If you let rejection break you, you were never fully committed to your vision. But if you let it strengthen you, shape you, and push you forward, then nothing can stop you. The world does not reward those who give up at the first sign of difficulty. It rewards those who keep moving, who trust that every no is leading them closer to the right yes. And the moment you embrace that truth, you become unstoppable. People are naturally drawn to those who lead themselves first. The world respects individuals who stand firm in their choices, who walk with certainty, who do not waver in the face of doubt. When you take full ownership of your life, your decisions, your actions, your path, others take notice. You don't have to demand respect. You simply earn it by being someone who trusts their own direction. Think about the people you admire, the ones who inspire you, who make you believe in what's possible. What do they all have in common? It's not just their skills or knowledge, it's their presence. It's the way they carry themselves, the way they move with confidence, even in uncertain times. They don't need approval to act. They don't wait for someone else to lead the way. They choose their path and walk it boldly, knowing that their belief in themselves is enough. The world follows those who have already decided where they're going. No one wants to follow someone who hesitates, who constantly questions their own abilities, who waits for someone else to show them the way. But when you step into leadership, when you own your choices and refuse to second guess yourself, people will naturally gravitate toward you. They will respect your certainty, your commitment, your unshakable belief in your own potential. This is not about arrogance. It's not about pretending to know everything. It's about having the courage to move forward even when you don't have all the answers. It's about trusting that you are capable, that you can figure things out, that you are worthy of leading your own life. When you do this, something incredible happens. The right people start to show up. The right opportunities start to appear, not because you force them to, but because the world respects those who respect themselves. When you choose yourself, when you take control of your own journey, you don't have to chase validation. You become the kind of person others naturally look up to, not because you asked them to, but because you proved through your actions that you are someone worth following. Energy speaks louder than words. Before you even open your mouth, the world has already decided how to respond to you. The way you carry yourself, the way you walk into a room, the way you handle yourself in moments of challenge, all of it sends a message. And that message determines how others treat you, how opportunities present themselves, and how far you go in life. You don't have to say, I am confident. You don't have to declare, I am worthy. Your energy does it for you. When you walk with certainty, when you hold your head high, when you move through life like you belong, people believe it. But if you hesitate, if you shrink yourself, if you doubt your own worth, the world picks up on that too. It's not about faking it. It's about choosing to embody the person you know you are capable of becoming. The most successful people in the world understand this. They don't just work on their skills, they work on their presence. They cultivate an energy that commands attention, that draws people in, that makes others believe in them before they even have a reason to. And the best part, this is something you control. You don't need permission to carry yourself with confidence. You don't need external validation to decide that you are valuable. The moment you start showing up differently, the world responds differently. The moment you start showing up differently, the world responds differently. It's easy to think that success is all about what you do, but it's just as much about how you do it. The energy you bring into every situation, the way you present yourself, the way you believe in your own potential. These things matter more than you realize. When you choose to radiate confidence, positivity, and certainty, doors open. People listen. The right opportunities find you, not because you begged for them, but because the world can't help but respond to someone who already knows they belong. Authenticity wins every time. In a world full of people trying to fit in, trying to mold themselves into what they think others want, the ones who truly stand out are the ones who dare to be themselves. The world does not reward those who imitate. It rewards those who are unapologetically real. When you embrace who you are, flaws and all, you unlock a power that cannot be replicated. You become magnetic, undeniable, unforgettable. People can sense when someone is pretending, when they are hiding parts of themselves to gain approval. And just as easily, they can sense when someone is truly comfortable in their own skin. There is something compelling about a person who does not seek validation, who does not adjust themselves to fit in, who simply is. That kind of presence commands respect. It draws in the right people, the right opportunities, the right kind of success. Not the kind that is fleeting, but the kind that is real because it is built on truth. The moment you stop performing for the world and start owning who you are, everything changes. The right people start showing up. Not because you changed for them, but because you finally aligned with yourself. The right opportunities come, not because you forced them, but because you were finally ready to receive them as your true self. The world does not need another copy of someone else. It needs you. The raw, unfiltered, fully alive version of you. It takes courage to be yourself, to stand in your truth even when it's not popular, to own your story, your dreams, your voice without hesitation. But the reward is freedom, the freedom to live on your terms, to attract what is meant for you, to wake up every day knowing you are not just existing, but truly living. And when you embrace that, when you step fully into who you are, the world does not just accept you, it celebrates you. You set your own value. No one else decides what you are worth. Only you do. The way you see yourself, the standards you set, the way you allow others to treat you, these are the signals you send to the world about how you expect to be valued, and the world responds accordingly. If you don't believe in your own worth, don't be surprised when others don't either. But the moment you decide you are valuable, everything shifts. Too many people hand over their worth to others, letting society, bosses, relationships, or circumstances dictate their value. They wait for someone else to recognize their potential, to give them permission to be great. But the truth is, the world will only see you as valuable when you do. If you carry yourself like you deserve the best, you will attract better opportunities, better people, better outcomes. But if you settle, if you tolerate less than you deserve, you send a message that you are okay with being undervalued. Think of the most successful people in the world. They were not handed their worth, they declared it. They didn't wait for approval. They decided what they were worth and demanded it through their actions. Whether it was in their career, their relationships, or their goals, they set the bar and the world adjusted to meet it. This is not arrogance. This is self-respect. This is understanding that if you don't see your own value, no one else will. When you choose yourself, when you set high standards and refuse to accept anything less, the world rises to meet you. The right opportunities appear. The right people respect you. And the right doors open, not because you begged for them, but because you made it clear through your actions, your confidence, and your presence that you are worthy. And once you make that decision, there is no limit to what you can achieve. The moment you choose yourself, everything changes. The world does not determine your worth, you do. It does not give you permission, you give it to yourself. The opportunities, the respect, the success you seek all begin with one simple yet powerful decision: to believe in yourself before anyone else does. When you accept yourself fully, when you move with confidence, when you stop waiting for validation and start owning your path, the world has no choice but to respond. The right people, the right doors, the right moments will align, not because you chased them, but because you became the kind of person they are drawn to. You are not here to play small. You are not here to wait for approval. You are here to step boldly into the life you were meant for. So stop hesitating, stop questioning, stop looking outside for answers that have always been within you. Choose yourself and watch how the world follows.